And good afternoon. I'm Whit Johnson in New York. We're coming back on the air because the judge has just sentenced Sean Diddy Combs to 4 years in prison. He was found guilty over the summer on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution in connection with his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and another woman, but was acquitted on more serious charges that could have sent him to prison for life. Let's get right to our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katersky, who's been following this trial from the beginning. He joins us from outside the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. So, Aaron, we just got the verdict right there. We know that Combs himself spoke to the judge. The judge responded. Lay out the sentencing here and what went down in the courtroom today. She said he has to stay.
This was a very long sentencing hearing, which Sean Combs himself, once larger than life, was left begging for mercy.
Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack.
Standing at the defense table, telling the judge that he's a changed man, apologizing for his behavior. But that request for a lenient sentence of time served was rejected by the judge, Arun Subramanian, who said it was insufficient to send the kind of message that he wanted to send, that violence against women must be met with real accountability. And so he sentenced Sean Combs to 4 years in prison. That's not as much as federal prosecutors here wanted. They wanted 11 years in prison, reminding the judge that Sean Combs has a penchant for violence and abuse, pointing to 2016 hotel security video showing Combs attacking Cassie Ventura. Combs says he knows that video intimately. He apologized to Cassie Ventura. The judge said 11 years was unreasonable, but 4 years is just the right amount, the judge said, to send a message to Sean Combs, to victims of domestic violence, that their accounts will be taken seriously. Whit?
Aaron, thanks. Let's go ahead and bring in a trial attorney and ABC News legal contributor, Brian Buckmeyer. Brian, we just heard Aaron lay out right there that the defense was hoping for 14 months in credit for time served. The prosecution wanted 11 years. So this is somewhere in the middle. Is this verdict what you expected?
It actually was not what I expected, and this is why I say that. The probation report said anywhere from 70 to 87 months, much higher than the 50 months that the judge gave. And understand, and I'll try to break down the math as best as I can, the judge understands the math of how this all works. With 50 months in the federal system, you only do 85% of that. So you take away about 8 months or so, that's 42 months. And don't forget that Sean Combs has already been sitting in MDC, the jail here in Brooklyn, New York, for 13 months. So you subtract 13 months even from that, you're looking at something like 2 years, maybe 3 years at the end of the day. The judge knew that and still gave this sentence. I think if you're Sean Combs and his defense team, a hard day, but overall a win for them.
Okay, Brian, stand by for us. So let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor and ABC News legal contributor, Bernarda Villalona. And Bernarda, we've also saw today some emotional testimony. We saw numerous children of Sean Diddy Combs speaking before the court. Combs himself saying that he's a changed man. There was this video that they put together talking about Combs being a family man, his impact on the community. How much of that do you think made a difference here in the judge's decision?
Well, today was definitely Judgment Day for Sean Diddy Combs. So what the judge told Sean Diddy Combs was like, look, in terms of your life work, of all the good you've done, in terms that you're a great father, it doesn't erase what I heard and what I saw during this 8-week trial. And what he heard and saw during this 8-week trial was one of Sean Diddy Combs taking advantage of Jane and Cassie by being violent to them, taking advantage of their emotions, having them engage in several sex acts, either by drugs or alcohol or by the manipulation. And the judge sent a message that, yes, you have family, yes, you have people that love you, but Jane and Cassie were victims, and victims should be accounted for, and someone should speak for the victims and deter this type of conduct. And that's why the judge didn't go with the 14th month recommendation by the defense, but instead handed down a sentence of 50 months, 4 years and 2 months, to show that this is accountability, this is deterrence, this is protecting the public, and this is what the verdict is going to be today. And when people remember Sean Diddy Combs, they know that he is a convicted felon sentenced to 50 months for his actions throughout a decade.
Sean Diddy Combs was stoic as the judge handed down his 50-month sentence. That's more than 4 years. Now, Sean Combs, from my observation, sitting inside that courtroom, did not have much of a reaction as his fate was handed down to him. It was actually moments before that he got emotional, crying when he spoke to the judge, which was the first time that he had addressed the court at length throughout his entire 2-month trial. Now, he faced his children and he said, "I am sorry, I have failed you as a father." He then looked at his mother sitting in the gallery of the courtroom and said, "You raised me better than this." And that is when his voice was cracking and when he began to cry. Now, Sean Combs's attorneys took a very long time with the sentencing proceedings today. 5 of his attorneys speaking at length to the judge, talking about how he is a changed man, how he is a man who suffered from drug abuse, but that he has a lot of good to offer the world. In fact, one of his attorneys saying that the world needs Sean Combs. Another one of his attorneys crying as she told the judge that she herself was inspired by Sean Combs. Now, despite the defense's efforts, the judge said that, of course, he was taking that into consideration and that he agreed with his attorneys that he has made great impact on the world as a self-made businessman who has inspired so many, particularly the Black community. But here's what the judge said when he scolded Combs. He said, quote, "History of good work cannot wash away this case." He said that he used his abuse to get your way. He asked Combs, why did the abuse continue for so long, that being the abuse against Cassie and Jane? And he said, quote, "Because you had the power and resources to keep it going and you didn't get caught."
He didn't get 5, he's got 50 months. And 85% is what he'll do of that 50 months. As you heard reported, so that's 42 months minus 14. So at the end of the day, he's probably going to do about 2.5 years. But remember, he's going to automatic appeal. He's going to appeal this sentence. And we'll see what happens with the appeal. Like, there's a possibility that he could still come home sooner than that. Also, Diddy didn't think he'd get that. He thought he was going to get the 14 months. Believe me, I was reading where he had already made plans to do a speaking engagement in Miami next week. So his defense team was totally rocked by this. Now they thinking this guy's going home, it's a done deal. He didn't get hit with the heaviest charges. The Mann Act is no big deal. Typically that's less than a year that you get for the Mann Act. And that's he's already served 13 months. So that's time served. But see, Sean Diddy Combs is not any typical person. He's somebody that was able to keep this going for a number of years. He's got a number of, he's got influence. It's a statement being made by going after him. If he was a regular guy working at Kenny's Shoes, they had a couple of employees he was misusing, this is probably be no big deal, but it's Sean Diddy Combs. Now, there's a political angle to this that I want to address. Because some people say, Tim, I think the fact that Biden's people wanted him to go down.
White men like Trump need to be banished. The number one priority is to get Trump out of office. We're on the verge of a race war. We have no choice now to get Trump out of there.
So let me get this right. People think that Trump should help Sean Diddy Combs. I mean, we all know how petty Trump is, right? What do you think the motivation for Trump would be after hearing Diddy say some shit like that about him? This wasn't that long ago. And look at Charlamagne just sitting there, interesting.
I'm saying you can say what you want about Biden.
They gave us Senator Harris as the VP. I mean, those are some of the things we were asking for. Black agenda could be way stronger.
Yes. Right now, let's stay focused on Trump. People don't really know me. I'm a black nationalist. They trying to keep their foot on the neck up to my level, up to Jay-Z's level, up to LeBron's level. It's not easy. It's not easy for me, for Jay, for Oprah. They still treat us like niggas. We are a people that have been abused the most. And we got to start biting their legs off.
That's right.
So we got to, number one, Trump got to go. Because these older cats that's running for office, these white-haired older cats, they about to be dead.
Sound to me like you think we're on the verge of a civil war.
If Trump gets elected, I really do believe in my heart there'll be a race war. America messed up. They flooded the hood with guns. So I don't know this notion of we don't have guns.
They plotted to kidnap the governor of Michigan. White supremacists. So that what you're saying is true. Yes, it's going to be violent. There's going to be problems, and he's stirring it up. Biden's decision to pick Kamala Harris as his running mate.
It was a historic, beautiful day. You know, and just having 3 girls and having them be able to witness that is great. It pushed me, it moved me. You know, Black women have, you know, got us to this point. To see him recognize that, I started feeling a little bit better. I think we all did start to feel a little bit better. And it's helpful that we will have her in there because we need to keep her and him accountable. And at least we have, somebody that we could dialogue with, somebody that we could relate to. This is a new Negro. And that new Negro, that new Black person is not scared, is not fearful. They're not afraid to die. They understand that this is life and that violence has to be an option. What will give us some time to really step into the momentum of the unity and love is let's get Trump out of office. If Trump's in office, there's going to be bloodshed.
Well, then you're going to have Trump's supporters who pissed off that he's not in there no more. So they're going to get buck regardless.
Yeah, if they get buck.
We got enough.
No, if they get buck, I wish they were. They get buck, we're going to eat their arms off. We're not going to keep on playing with these people.
What will your legacy be?
My legacy will be that I played my part.
Word. I'm riding with you, King.
All right.
Okay, before we go to the next one, because I do have more. If that doesn't show you just how all over the place that Puffy was with his rhetoric, with his state of mind, this guy just throws out stuff. I don't even think he knows what he's saying. You know, was he working with the Bidens? Obviously, he's not a fan of Trump. Obviously, working with the Bidens, putting his faith in Kamala. Very loopy, very goofy stuff he's talking about here. He ain't talking about nationalism. He's talking about fighting violence and civil wars. And it sounded to me like maybe somebody did too much coke. I don't know what he's on. And he's talking about, him and Jay-Z, and he named somebody else Black that has money, and they treating them like niggas or whatever. Yo, man, well, how about you treating the people that work for you? How'd you treat Black people, Puffy? The people that you were forcing to do whatever you wanted to do, who you were manipulating with your power. How were you treating people? Let's pause for a second about how you say the system or white folks treat you. When you got a chance to be in the driver's seat, which you have been for a number of years, maybe a couple of decades now, how were you wielding your power, sir? See, that's the thing that people don't want to address. So when I got people talking as if Diddy been railroaded by the system, I'm like, yo, this dude is part of the system. This guy has been treating people way worse than he's being treated. Make no mistake about it. Make no mistake. Diddy's been doing people dirty. And you want to defend him because you say it's a brother getting the short end of the stick. Yeah, it's also a stick that he's taken and done what who knows what to others with. And look, him saying, he realizes, he's a broken man and all this stuff. He just sounds like a charismatic dumbass. And people won't say it because he's still powerful. They want money. They want jobs. They can't tell the truth. Well, this is Punch You in the Mouth Fridays. And listening to this shit, it sounds like a guy who's just all over the place, don't know what he's talking about, with no point of view. Really, nothing that makes any sense. He likes to talk. I don't believe a thing he said when he went to court. I don't believe that he feels contrition. I don't believe that he feels remorse. And if he does feel remorse, it's about getting caught. And I believe he didn't believe he could get caught. And I don't believe if he thought he could get caught, that he would ever have to be accountable for being caught. I think he believed he had so much money, he could do whatever the hell he wanted to do. And after all that talking about how hard it is to be Black, he forgot he Black. He forgot that he was Black. through all this talking, all this. So yeah. He didn't think he'd get caught. He's sorry. He's not sorry he did what he did. I think he's sorry he got caught. He's sorry it's his time to pay for what he did. And I think if all you do is get a couple years, a couple little slaps on the wrist, that's all you get, you're lucked out.
Get to action. I don't care if you understand it, you don't understand it. I'm a warrior. I've been in head to head with these folks in corporate America. You know what I'm saying? Like when they ask the question, is there systemic racism? And nobody answers the question. I'm like, yo, no, hold on. This systemic racism, they trying to keep their foot on the neck up to my level, up to Jay-Z's level, up to LeBron's level. It's an illusion of inclusion by just a couple of us. So I could sit back here in the crib, but I'm not with that. I'm from that same block. I'm a frontliner. I'm with the smoke at any time, no matter where my address is at. We're in a war. This shit is not a fucking game. Everybody needs to wake up. I'm ringing the alarm. I'm having to start right now to organize and to come together, and so we could build our political army unapologetically for the things that matter to us. Our Black Party, we love free-thinking, free-minded people and individuals. That's all we want in life, is to be able to be free and to be able to think as free as we want. But you have a responsibility to your people to ride on what they riding with for the betterment of the good of the whole overall tribe. We are a people that have been abused the most. And we got to start biting their legs off. That's right. You know, when they put their foot on our neck, we got to start biting that shit off. When they shooting us in the back, we got to start defending ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing going to stop unless you stop it. It's black insanity. We have to get off of this. We have to wake up and see what's going on. The world is watching.
As I listen to Diddy, man, I don't know what he believes, what he really is on. If he's on, and if any of this was authentic, my word still holds true, man. The brother did not believe that he could become a victim. Like, how could you be engaged in some of the shit he's engaged in and not keep his house a little bit cleaner and in order? I mean, it's like you're just giving them the opportunity to come do what they did. It's kind of obvious. So, I mean, if you are making these types of claims, if you are this bold and saying, we're going to fight them, we're going to do this, we need to rise up, and you're bucking the Republicans and bucking the Democrats, and that sounded like he wasn't talking about being a Democrat. And I respect that vision that we want to move beyond those political parties. I get it. But then you don't put yourself in situations where you have a lifestyle that jeopardizes you so much. So he's a walking, talking contradiction. And at the end of the day, who is he hurting the most? The same people he say he want to ride for. Who's he taking advantage of the most? The same people he say he's standing with. So it's a walking contradiction, man. And it's exhausting, really. If you look at it, the way I see it, I think he got off light. I think he could have been in jail for the rest of his life. Do you realize those trafficking charges would have put him in jail forever? He thought he was coming home. There's worse things that could happen than not coming home today or yesterday, today. He could be never coming home. Yeah. And he's got an appeal, automatic appeal on the sentencing. So I'm sure he'll be working angles on that. That may even get reduced. But as it stands now, I think it was a good day for him. I think he's been riding high since those charges were dismissed. He was acquitted of the most serious charges and was just left with those two. I think that's a beautiful thing for him. They're sending a message. If they want you, they'll come get you. I don't care, no matter how big, how small, they all fall. And I think that message was sent, and I think it's comments like this that help put him in harm's way. Because it's fine when he was singing Kumbaya. It was cool when he was dancing with Obama, when he was doing a little, I got him. Rock the vote, get out the vote. He was the Democrats' main guy. I don't think people realize this. I don't know if I got young people watching, But once upon a time, Sean Diddy Combs was the go-to guy for the Democrats' Get Out the Vote campaign. He was doing what you see all these people doing, D.L. Hughley and Uncle Luke and Plies and all the other people, Ricky Smiley, all those people that are kind of championed around Kamala and the Democrats in the 2024 election. Diddy did that by himself in 2008 and 2012. He was the one man get out the vote. He was hanging with Obama, not with the vice president, with the president. All right, so that's my point of view on it, man. Hope that makes sense. You know, I'm not going to say he's the worst person in the history of people. He's not. To me, he's just a freaky guy, and that's not supposed to be against the law to be a freak. You may not be your cup of tea, but that should not be against the law. Far as I can tell, there was no bodies. Who was that rapper right now that found a body in his Tesla? There's no bodies in Puffy's Tesla that I know of. I don't even think he has a Tesla. See what I'm saying? So what really was he doing? He was found guilty of being a hoe, of being freaky. Now, did he manipulate people? Did he force people in? Did he coerce them? Did he basically shake people down? Did he do those things? And only he and the people in the courtroom really know. All right, let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I think the guy got off good. He was looking at life in prison. This thing looks like a big money grab. He lost a lot of money. They humbled him, and maybe that was the true intention. Maybe that was it. Maybe the whole thing was an exercise in buck breaking. Breaking a brother down. Let me know what y'all think, y'all.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.